Hello, welcome to the BT360 podcast, What's Up in Business Travel, a weekly podcast where we update you on what's up this week in the world of business travel. This podcast is great for those who need to know what's happening, all in less than 15 minutes. My name is Ash. Let's get started. It is Monday, September 15th, and we've completed week 36 of 2025. Are you enjoying this podcast? Does this podcast help you stay in the know? Be sure to tell us by sending us a text message. You can do that easily with a new link that is available in our show notes. Now, let's get to the headlines. The battle between online travel agents for customers remains fierce as online marketing investment continues to edge north and players attempt to navigate the shifting rules of engagement. The largest online players, Airbnb, Booking Holdings, Expedia, and Trip.com, invested a combined $5.2 billion in marketing in the second quarter of 2025. Airbnb sales and marketing spend increased to almost $700 million in Q2 of 2024. It's worth remembering that Airbnb emphasized 90% of its business comes direct. Booking Holdings increased its marketing spend to a little over $2 billion in Q2, up from $1.9 billion for the same period in 2024. Expedia increased its marketing spend to $1.9 billion, up from $1.8 billion, and Trip.com increased sales and marketing expenses to $464 million, up 30% year over year. In a safety alert, the FAA again warned airlines of the risk of lithium batteries carried on board planes by passengers and crew members. Cell phones, laptops, portable power banks, e-cigarettes, and hearing aids are just some of the many devices with batteries that could malfunction, creating a thermal runway and igniting a fire. The alert comes days after the FAA demonstrated for CNN how a thermal runway in a battery-powered pack in a seatback pocket could suddenly launch a violent shower of sparks and ignite a fire. The FAA tracked 50 verified battery-related incidences through August. The alert encourages airlines to consider a hazard posed by the stowage of lithium batteries in areas not visible or easily accessible by passengers or crew members, such as in overhead bins or in carry-on bags. Southwest Airlines is currently the only major U.S. airline which requires portable chargers and power banks to be in plain sight if they're being used during a flight. Generally, spare lithium batteries are prohibited in all checked baggage. A U.S. bankruptcy court has permitted Spirit to tap into $275 million in emergency funds as it prepares to restructure its business. According to a report from Law 360, a U.S. bankruptcy judge approved Spirit's move to draw money from its revolving credit facility, revenue, and other accounts. The judge ruled that access to the liquidity is obviously necessary to keep the airline operating. Spirit filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in August 29th, the second time it's done so in just 1 year. The immediate need was the unexpected termination of aircraft leases by AerCap, Spirit's largest leaser, but the airline has been struggling with high debt and weakened demand for months. Earlier in August, it warned investors that it may not survive 2025 as a growing concern. Last week, Spirit confirmed that it will discontinue service in 11 markets this fall. Now in news that impacts the travel industry. U.S. authorities have confirmed that the new increased fee of $40 for the electronic system for travel authorization will take effect from later this month. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said that the ESTA fee will nearly double from its current $21 to $40 starting September 30th. Visitors from visa waiver countries such as the UK and most EU members will have to apply for an ESTA for entry into the United States. The authorization is valid for 2 years unless the traveler's passport expires within this time frame. U.S. authorities previously raised the fee for an ESTA application from $14 to $21 back in May of 2022. The rise in the price of an ESTA comes after the UK increased the charge for its own fee from £10 to £16 in April. Meanwhile, the EU has raised its fee from €7 to €20. Add JetBlue to the list of the airlines, adding pressure to Spirit. JetBlue announced that it will launch 9 new routes from Fort Lauderdale, including 7 that Spirit is serving. Plus, JetBlue will increase its frequency in November and December on 9 Fort Lauderdale routes, all of which Spirit serves. In addition, JetBlue said it will launch service to Cali, Colombia, at an unspecified date, competing against Spirit. Discount airline Avelo Airlines has ordered 50 E195 aircrafts with an option for 50 more. The move will make Avelo the first U.S. operator of Embraer's largest and most advanced aircraft while opening new route possibilities. Avelo has operated only Boeing 737s since launching in 2021. The new aircraft will offer Avelo more flexibility than the 737s due to their ability to operate on shorter runways. The planes, with the ability to lift quicker than 737s, are likely to be especially helpful in Avelo's largest focus city of New Haven, Connecticut. The airport's short runways limit the fuel loads on 737s, reducing operational range. Let's get to the news of mergers and new partnerships. United Airlines and Italian airline ITA Airways have begun selling tickets for a code-sharing agreement that takes effect today, September 15th. With the code-sharing agreement, United passengers can purchase a single ticket and earn miles on travel beyond United service to Rome and Milan to ITA's domestic connections as well as elsewhere in Europe. For ITA, the agreement opens up bookings to several U.S. airports, including Dallas, Denver, Honolulu, Houston, and Newark. ITA said that the agreement aligns with its plans to strengthen its offerings in North America. This initiative is part of a broader growth plan for international markets, which is expected to progress with ITA Airways joining Star Alliance in 2026, according to ITA's CEO and general manager. Amadeus and BAGTAG have strengthened their partnership to make fully touch-free baggage experiences more widely available for airlines and airports. Building on years of technical alignment, the two companies have demonstrated that electronic bag tags, or EBTs, can update automatically when baggage is placed at an Amadeus-powered self-service bag drop without passengers scanning barcodes, opening an app, or even touching a screen. Amadeus provides the departure control and airport infrastructure relied upon by hundreds of airlines, while BAGTAG supplies airline-branded EBTs and let travelers prepare their bags from anywhere and move through airports more quickly. By combining these strengths, both organizations are showing how open platforms and close collaborations can simplify baggage processes, reduce paper waste, and free valuable airport resources. Because the capability sits within Amadeus' self-service infrastructure, a single configuration enables EBT support for nearly every airline using that platform at a given airport. Locations already equipped with Amadeus backdrops can activate the function with minimal effort, offering passengers a consistent, paper-free experience across multiple airlines. Alaska Airlines and Icelandair will expand their codeshare agreement to include Icelandair's flights from Iceland to Europe. The expanded agreement follows Alaska's recent announcement that it will begin summer-only daily service between Seattle and Iceland on May 28th. At present, Alaska and Icelandair codeshare on flights between Iceland and Seattle and Portland, as well as some Alaska flights out of those cities. The airlines will also add more Alaska Airlines flights on the West Coast and elsewhere to their codeshare agreement. Budget airline SpiceJet has signed an Interline Agreement with Bahrain's national airline Gulf Air. Ticket sales under the new agreement are expected to start early next year. This would allow passengers to book connecting flights across SpiceJet and Gulf Air under a single itinerary. The partnership will provide SpiceJet passengers seamless access to Gulf Air's network across the Middle East, Africa, Europe, and Central Asia, while Gulf Air passengers will gain enhanced connectivity to India through SpiceJet's extensive domestic network. Air India has partnered with mobility solutions company Avis India for end-to-end travel experiences. The partnership will allow Air India passengers to book premium, chauffeur-driven cars at a discounted rate. In a statement, the airline said that the service is available across 17 cities in India. The move is part of the airline's effort to offer premium travel services. The partnership with Avis India underscores our commitment to offering premium travel services to our guests at every touch point. This is according to the Chief Commercial Officer of Air India. And now, news of new travel services and improvements. Electric air taxi company Joby Aviation and Uber Technologies have partnered to bring Blade's air mobility services to the Uber app as soon as next year. The two companies have worked together since 2019 to develop urban air mobility services, and Joby announced in late 2020 that it had acquired Uber's Elevate division. The deal also saw Uber invest $75 million in Joby. Blade's passenger business, which last year flew more than 50,000 passengers across routes in the New York metropolitan area and Southern Europe, was acquired by Joby in late August. Joby plans to accelerate its launch of an electric air taxi service in markets including Dubai, Los Angeles, the UK, and Japan using Blade's infrastructure. Last week, Amazon launched robotaxi service in Las Vegas, offering free rides through parts of the entertainment mecca for anyone willing to take on a driverless vehicle that operates without a steering wheel. The Las Vegas debut of the ride-hailing service reflects Amazon's owned robotaxi maker's confidence in the safety of its vehicles after 2 years of testing them in the city. The robotaxis initially were only available to employees in Las Vegas before gradually expanding to friends and family. Now anyone with an app will be able to request a ride to 5 designated locations, including Resorts World, the Luxor Hotel, and the New York Hotel. The longest distance the robotaxi will travel is about 3 miles while carrying up to 4 passengers. Air France has begun to roll out its new Starlink-powered free Wi-Fi service across its fleet, with plans to have it available on all aircraft by the end of 2026. By the end of the year, Air France expects to have it available in 30% of its fleet, with a full rollout, including regional jet, happening the following year. The service is free for all customers in all cabins, according to Air France. They must log in using their Flying Blue loyalty account to access the service, and they will be able to create an account on board if they don't have one. And finally, some technology news. SAP Concur has integrated Hotel Hub's hotel content aggregation technology into SAP Concur's Hotel Connector, which will enable travel management companies to improve access to their hotel content within Concur Travel. With Hotel Hub integration, TMCs can use its features within Concur Travel, including dynamic configuration and preferencing of both GDS and non-GDS hotel content, normalization and deduplication of hotel content, and P&R integration. Concur said joint customers of Concur and Hotel Hub have the implementation process underway for the integration, and the first launch should happen in the first quarter of next year. In a move aimed at easing the stress of air travel for those with tight itineraries, American Airlines has implemented a new AI system at the Phoenix airport designed to maximize the chances of passengers making their connecting flights. According to reports, the system grants the authority to hold flights for up to 10 minutes to ensure transfers are met, a decision previously left to the discretion of gate agents. Detailed data analysis now drives the once subjective process, with officials from American Airlines pointing out that over the Labor Day weekend, several flights experienced brief delays as a result of the newly adopted policy. The technology, which arrived at the airport ahead of the year's busiest travel periods, had previously been seen successful in major hubs such as Dallas-Fort Worth. With that, thank you for joining us, and I would like to ask you to tune in again next week on Monday morning to get your weekly update. We hope that you will make this a regular part of your week and listen in while you're on the move or sitting back and sipping your coffee. You can subscribe to this podcast by searching Business Travel 360 on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, or Pandora. Be sure to share this podcast with everyone you know so that they can also benefit from getting to know more about what's up in business travel. You can always find more information on businesstravel360.com. Have a great day and travel well.